That was always, and I know East and West Coast is different, so I'm not talking no shit. I did rock starter coats. I did have a bomber starter jacket, a bomber that went to my knees. My Bulls jacket when I became a Jordan fan back in the the starter. So I rocked them. I got a leather jacket. I got me a mean ass leather jacket for special occasions. Um,
Do you have
but
a Raiders leather jacket like Danny G?
Absolutely not. I never did that. I seen them. I never mixed the two. I thought if I'm trying to be slicker than worm sperm and I'm trying to look like the Fonz, I don't want a Raider logo on me when I'm doing it. I'm trying to have me a polo underneath or something snazzy. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I know Raider shit. I wear that shit to the game or on Sundays.
Yeah, I don't even think I own a leather jacket. I own something that's similar, but it's not a leather jacket, and it's not. I forget what the fuck it is. My homie Johnny's dad gave it to me, and it's actually fuck. What kind of material it is? Is it? It's not. It may be leather. I don't know too much, but this jacket, it's nice and fucking warm. I remember I wore it when we were on the East Coast, and it was like, fuck yeah, dog. This one jacket kept me nice and toasty. So it might be leather, but I don't fucking know. Um,
Well, my pops used to rock Big Jack. He used to rock the gray members only, and we used to give a shit. We used to always have fun and talk trash or whatever. And I'd be like, "Pop, you the only member?" Because people on the West Coast don't really rock them too much. You know what I mean? Like
you know what?
I don't.
I never even asked you. Is your dad originally from the East Coast?
Nah, he's from here. He's from a town called Carruthers.
Oh, okay.
Uh huh.
Um, damn. Okay. I don't know why. I was like, damn. I never even thought to ask you if your dad was like an East Coast dude or not. I was like, because I could
I
kind
know
of, yeah.
but I know the name, bro. The last name's out there somewhere. There's like they're in Boston and New York and whatnot. So
Hmm.
those Italianos are out there somewhere. But nah, we're Cali. We're Cali, born and raised.
Cool. Um, yeah, but
Green though, they made. But I'm sorry, bro. I didn't mean to
no, no, no.
interrupt
You're
you.
good. You're good. Go ahead.
I know they made a big deal about that fucking green, bro. What'd you think about that? I mean, is it green? Is it turquoise? Does it fucking matter? What do you think?
You know what? I only caught a little piece of that because I was listening. I was at work, and I tried to look at the video real quick, and I didn't catch the green, but the one thing I did catch is when Spot was holding up like a navy blue sweater, and color did he say? He said it was like black, or he said, what the f- did
See,
he say?
I wasn't. I didn't see it because I wasn't watching. I was listening,
Mm-hmm.
but he was insisting it was not forest green, and Cavino was insisting it was forest green. I trust Cavino. You know that.
Yeah, no, no, no. I think Spot might have because color blindness doesn't mean you see black and white like people like that are fucking dumb, think. You're
Why
not
don't they call it color kind of blindness then?
well, it's you have
Don't mislead me. Tell me the truth.
there's different shades. So like you may not be able to see, reds, or you may not be able to see greens or blues or whatever.
Well, why do they
Um
call it blue blind?
I don't fucking know, but I remember the first time I ever witnessed this was when it was my freshman year of high school, and we were in art class or ceramics or something, some kind of art class, right? And
Okay.
there was a dude who they had asked him like, "Hey, get the red one or whatever," right? And he was like, "Oh," he was like, I don't know which one's which or whatever." He was like, "I'm colorblind," and I was like, "Wait." I'm over here thinking when you're colorblind, you're seeing like a fucking dog sees or whatever, right? Like you're seeing, or I don't even know if dogs see black and white, but I'm thinking you're seeing can Leave It to Beaver, right?
Well,
And
dogs in Fresno only see red, bro.
but no, I remember there was something I looked up after that because I was a little curious, and it's actually just different shades that you can't identify. So you may not be able to see like a blue as clearly as it is blue. It's kind of like colors are open to your interpretation in a way, I guess. And at that point, you may not be able to see reds or blues, like I said, or green or whatever. And I think Spot might have a some slight color blindness because the hoodie or sweater or whatever the fuck he had, that shit was definitely like a navy blue. Rich was like, you know, he called him out kind of like in a dickish way where he was like, "Are you colorblind?" But I don't think he was trying to be a dick. I think he was just kind of like shocked.
Diagnose.
Like I think he was kind of shocked. Like, hey, what the? And when I looked, because I pulled up my phone and I looked, and I was like, what is Spot tripping or is he just with them? But I think he was being dead serious. He just didn't see it. So,
So, but if you're colorblind, don't argue with someone about what color it is.
well, I don't think he knows. I think we're actually diagnosing him right now. Not
Really?
only when they replace
Well, can I get
Spot's
a
heart,
copay?
when they replaced Spot's heart with somebody else's heart, he fucking started macking on dudes and shit. He started not seeing colors. He started fucking started being all kinds of shit. So I
Tell him,
don't,
tell him to take 2 gummies, 10 milligrams each, smoke a blunt, he'll be back to normal.
dog. I think it's fucking hilarious how the guys are like, "Did you fucking get dropped on your head?" Like they say it a lot jokingly, but it is funny because actually, you know what? I can kind of talk about something that happened this week where they were talking about a show called MILF Manor or MILF Manor. I forget what the fuck
Mm-hmm.
it was called, but
Yeah.
it's about some like old ass
Milfs?
fucking milfs that are trying to hook up with their fucking the other people on the show's sons or whatever. And they were talking about all this shit, and Rich jokingly called Spot a pervert, and then Spot was like, "I'm not a pervert." He was like, and then Rich made me laugh so hard because Spot was like, "I'm not a
Well,
pervert."
you're not only into missionary, bro. I mean, I hate to break it to
Well,
you,
well,
but
that was the thing that Rich read the definition, and he was like, something like
you tell us definitions of sexuality. What do you mean?
well, he Spot was like, I don't know what Spot said, and Rich was like, he read the definition, and it was like unconventional kinks or whatever and Spot was like, well, what makes my shit not normal? And then Rich made me laugh so hard. Rich has been making me laugh a lot.
Oh,
So
bro.
Rich looks at him and he goes, don't play stupid. I was like, fuck Rich. And it was because, Doug, that's like when you say like shit's not normal or whatever, right? You can play fucking dumb. Like if you say, hey, I'm a fucking they, that shit's not normal. Like I don't give a fuck. Like,
Listen, when we were in school, 90 or above was an A, right? 80 B, 70 C, 60 D, 50, we get the picture, right? So if 90 out of 100 people all do the same thing or like the same thing, that's probably where the curve's at.
exactly.
If you're like, I'm not gonna say my age, but I'm old enough.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the shit he said in the past 2 months I'd never heard before in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Normalize it for me, Spotty.
Exactly, dog. Until like however many 5 months ago or 3 months ago, whenever he started all this shit, fuck, I had never heard heteroflexible in my life.
I forgot what it even was. I knew it was some confusing shit I couldn't pronounce right. Thanks for reminding me. Now I've heard it a couple times.
Yeah, heteroflexible.
And it doesn't mean he's wrong, and it doesn't mean that
But
it's
it's
bad, and
unconventional.
it's definitely not to shame him in any way, shape, or form. Do your
Mm-hmm.
thing, Spot. But I mean, and maybe blame us. Maybe we're categorizing it the wrong way. How about different?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Into different stuff.
Yeah, and it's but to act like it's not different and to act like everybody's fucking doing it,
You're being silly.
that's kind of like if you, yeah, it is. But it was funny because I never see on the in show chat, I never see my fucking homie Lou Dog that I got to reference every show. I never see him participate on the in show chat. And on Tuesday, I actually saw him participating on the chat, and I was like, "Look at Lou Dog over here, fucking dropping some fucking bombs in here." So it was
Did he?
it was kind of dope because I talked to him about it outside of this, like just like that's the whole reason why we started this show all them years ago because me and my friends, me and Johnny, me and Lou Dog, me and fucking my sister, me and whoever, we would talk about fucking show, and just like you and I bullshit half the time. Dog, we don't even record half the shit we're saying when we're like, oh,
Right.
you know what? Let's save the shit for the show, or let's save the shit, and we're already
Mhm.
fucking 30 minutes into us fucking chilling, and we're like, oh, fuck, man, we got to remember to, or hey, and so
Yeah.
it's just like, I don't fucking know, but it's cool to see fucking Lou Dog, participating in shit like in real time because I know he's one of the ones that listens for the most part on delay.
On delay?
Yeah, on
All
delay.
right. No, I listen on delay too some of the time. A lot of times it's tough for me that morning shift. I've been catching more lately, but yeah, I'm on delay half the time too. So I like to chime in. I've been chiming in. I told you that one cat got me all fired up. So
Mhm.
But I've been chiming in. I've been seeing the snarls in there. I see you guys.
Yeah, no, I haven't been able to listen. I'm able to listen in little bits and pieces live now. Like I can
Okay.
listen like 10 minutes here, 5 minutes there, but from start to finish, like used to be able to, I fucking can't
Right.
do that shit anymore because the new position I have at work is just so different. So
Is it one that Spot knows?
I don't know. I don't know about that, but you know, it made me laugh the other day because fucking Carl fucking Reinhardt hit me up, and there's a show we watch called Tony. It's a podcast, right? And
Okay.
it's about stand-up comedians and shit. And he gives up-and-coming stand-up comedians a minute to
Ooh.
come up and do a minute and whatever. And
Okay.
Carl Reinhardt hit me up the other day, and he was like, "Dude, he's like, you need to go on Tony." You and it made me laugh because I feel like in my general hanging out with my homies and shit, like I drop shit that's like I have smart ass comments and pretty funny, whatever. But when
Okay.
it comes to like this show, I don't fucking. I feel like you're the witty one with all the comments and all the funny ass shit. And so
Right.
when he told me that, I was like, dog, I was like, if you think fucking the stupid ass shit I'll say on here is like decent, you gotta we gotta have a beer, Carl. So
Right.
so we
No,
got
for
we
sure.
gotta have a beer because no shit. I was like when he said that, I'm like, dog, you haven't seen nothing yet. Have one of my real life people give you some shit that I drop every now and again, and yeah. So when he said that, I appreciated it, but I was like, dog, you haven't seen shit yet. I'll fucking yeah. But anyway,
Well, speaking of comedy,
yeah.
I was looking, at our friend, what's his name? Our pal brings us entertainment from time to time. And with that being said, I went to comedy, and guess what the top? Let's see, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10 were, and I fuck with six of them. I fuck heavy with six.
What's six?
Number
What?
one was the comedians. Like when I clicked on our buddy, the entertainment guy, with the blue screen, comes on a little $20 thing you plug in, and you
Oh
open
yeah,
it up.
yeah. That guy.
You
That
open
guy.
it up, and you have the world.
Yeah, yeah. I forgot about that guy.
So the list, when I clicked on comedy and shit, here's the list. So number one, I'm give to you is Bert Kreischer. Right. Haven't I tried to watch him, but our buddy was being kind of stubborn. He didn't want to share that show. But everyone else down the list until Sarah Silverman.
Uh huh.
Right. It goes Bert Kreischer, Eddie Murphy,
Yeah.
Gary Owen,
Yeah.
Chris Rock,
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Hart,
Mm-hmm.
Cat Williams,
Mm-hmm.
Mike Epps. Then it goes Sarah Silverman, Comedy Central Roast, Robert Schimmel, whoever the fuck that weirdo is, and Richard Jenny. I have no fucking idea who Richard Jenny, Robert Schimmel, I don't know. And Sarah Silverman, she ain't funny to me. But again, Cat Williams, Mike Epps, Kevin Hart, Chris Rock, Gary Owen, Eddie Murphy, and that's just the brothers. We ain't even talking about the George Lopez's and the Vatos out there that are hella funny too.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I feel a little validated because I feel dumb sometimes because some of the guys you bring up, I've never fucking heard of them.
And you know what? It's funny because actually this past weekend, my sister and I we went to go to Irvine and we got to see T.J. Miller, another dude I don't think you're familiar with, but
I know TJ Maxx.
you know what's funny? I actually talked to Covino on Saturday. I don't remember what day it was, and he asked me who we went to go see, and I told him T.J. Miller, and it's funny because they've had T.J. on the show, and he was like, oh, he's like, was he any good? and I was like, yeah, dude, he was dope. Like he was funny as fuck, and he had two openers. One of the dudes is a guy that he does his podcast with, and
Okay.
that dude was funny. He did a lot of crowd work, and I know they're professionals, and I know like a lot of the shit is like they probably have like in their fucking holster, right? But just to be able to watch it in real time,
Mm-hmm.
T.J. Miller did some crowd work too. That was really good, but. Like there was some chick dog that was sitting in the front row and she was fucking recording him with her phone, and
Okay.
he was like, what the fuck are you doing? And there's no pictures or recording, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, are you recording me? And she's like, yeah. And he goes, the fuck? He's like, I'm supposed to fucking kick you out because it's kind of illegal. And like he was doing it actually like real. He was being cool about it because he could have gotten her, get the fuck out of here,
Yeah.
But he was like, he grabbed her phone and he was like, I could kick you out of here. He's like, but I won't because I'm a nice guy. He's like, unlike this bitch, and he recorded her, and it was just, it was cool how like he made a point of like, hey, like be a adult, you know,
Right.
but but at the same time he was like just giving her a hard time, and he gave her her phone back and shit or whatever, but
Did she keep recording?
no, but she was like, oh, it's because I'm recording it for my sons, and he was like, why didn't you?
No one cares
And
about your fucked up excuse.
and then he was like, why didn't you bring them? And she's like, they're not old enough, and he was like, how old are they?
Well,
She
then why are you gonna show? Well, hold on. I'm sorry, bro. I gotta ask something. I have to. She's recording it for her sons who aren't old enough to come. Then why the fuck would you record some fucked up shit and show it to them later?
Yeah, well, one of them was fucking 20, right? And TJ Miller goes, why didn't you bring him?
Yeah.
And she goes, because he can't drink. He goes, but you can still get in the club. You only got to be 18. And she was like, and he was like, see, he's like, you're a piece of shit mom. And then like he started breaking her balls, and it was, but he was really cool. He was funny as, Doug. There was like a joke he told about some tweakers that made me fucking die, dog. It was fun. But anyway, just to you know, for your point, I don't think you know about that dude either, but he's fucking dope. And that's one thing I like about Tony, is that you get to discover some people that aren't even as famous as TJ Miller. Like TJ Miller's an actor and shit. But you get some people, dog, like there was somebody that I heard recently on the last couple of weeks who funny as fuck. And this is a nobody, dog. It's like his second time on stage or whatever. And I fucking love that shit, because like there's a guy named Ryan Joseph who is not even famous at all, but he's been on Tony like 2 or 3 times.
Mhm.
Dude is funny as fuck, like funny. And I'm like, dog, because that's the thing, is like you could be funny as nobody's heard of you. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
and so that's what I really dig about it. And that's why I'm like, when I hear people talk about like stand up and shit, and their only reference is whoever Netflix is feeding them,
Yeah.
like I think that's kind of whack, you know? Um
No,
but
that's the truth.
but I don't know. Maybe I'm a comedy like stand up snob or something. But it's a little snobby. But fucking, I love it. You know.
I do that with I do that with my West Coast rap. I mean, I'm looking for the underground shit, but that's something else, I guess, nowadays with all these different platforms, you know, to showcase your talent on. Maybe I should start looking for the underground comics that are up and coming.
I think, Doug, honestly,
That's not a bad idea.
no shit. And this is, I think you'll dig it, because a lot of mainstream shit, even if it is on like Netflix, unless you're getting like a Chris Rock or a fucking, even Andrew Santino had a fucking special off that was good. But unless you're getting like, you could get like even like a Kevin Hart, dog, can be kind of whack sometimes, you know, especially lately. Sebastian Maniscalco recently had a special. It was a little whack, you know.
But you know what? You know what that is, though, bro. It's personal opinion. You know, being involved with, you know, music a long time ago, whatnot. I think the farther you get, it's up, because
The more
everyone
mainstream
wants
you
to.
got to be.
Well, everyone, check it out, man. Everyone makes it out the hood, right? You hit a certain level of success, and of course, you're not going to be staying in the projects if you're making $1 million a year. It just is what it is. And at some point, you have to cut some of those people off, because they're going to jeopardize you getting in trouble. They're shooting whatever. You're starting to like, you know, people change their life a little bit. They keep a couple cool ones from the hood, but like the wild ones, they don't kick it with as much anymore. But with that being said, you become less and less authentic, because when you're around them crazy ass and you're still living that life. Motherfucker, are you done? I'm trying to do a podcast, Chapo. Shit.
Did he burp, or what did he do?
Sneeze. Gesundheit. Go lay in your shit. Go lay down. But realistically, bro, I think that the farther you actually, and this, and I'm, and again, but I think that you can only hold on to the past and make it current and relevant for so long. Like if you hustle when you were 20 and you were 45, like they didn't even have wax back then, right? And you weren't selling dabs. Like you've been passed by. You know what I mean? And so I think that it's the same with the jokes. Like it's one thing to have a bucket and that motherfucker break down on you, or to talk about when that happened 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's the attitudes too, because when you hang out with, like, the energy's different. Your middle class people, successful, who have made it, don't give the same energy and presence that fuels your jokes as wild ass the hood that just don't give a shit.
Doug, like even, you know, it's funny. I can give you an example, a rap example about not hood rap. I'm just saying like a mainstream example, but I feel like this was one of his last kind of ghetto mainstream shit. Um, Eminem, when he went from, he made a little bit of scratch, right? So
Right.
he's over here saying, um, he's talking about everything that people were saying that you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, and it made me laugh because he goes, they said I can't rap about being broke no more. They said I can't rap about coke no more. You think I won't choke no whore till her vocal cords don't work in her throat no more? I'm like, oh, he
But
went,
he won't. But he won't. That he won't. Eminem is not choking no chick out. He's full of shit.
yeah, yeah, no, no. And see, that was actually back in the when he was having all of the problems with his baby mama and shit. This is like
Right.
going back like 25 years, like no bullshit. Because it was probably 99, 2000 ish or whatever. But it's funny because now if you listen to his shit, it's hella different, right? He can still and shit, but it's just
He can spit.
it's different, like you're saying.
Well, and think about it. Like I said, man. Jay-Z done had a lot of money for a long time. Like, tell me some new shit, man. I'm not. This ain't a bedtime story. I ain't trying to hear what you did in '95. Like that shit ain't relevant no more. It's
Mm-hmm.
just not. And so it's like they see pictures on TMZ of him and Beyonce on a yacht, and he's talking about coming up in the sewer. It's like I don't know, man. You got to change your message.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know what though? And I think that's the thing is that yeah, it's cool not to like forget about where you're from or whatever, but at the same time, be authentic in where you are right now. He can still dog the way he Jay-Z rhymes. He could rap about anything right now. Why not rap about your now and make it right? He's that dope. People call him the GOAT all the time. So why you got to bring up shit from 25 years ago, 30 years ago? You know?
Yeah, no, for sure. Because that's just not who you are anymore. You're a billionaire. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? You move different. It just is what it is. You move different. But the problem is though, like again, people can't relate to how he moves. You ever seen someone with a Maybach?
You know
Who
what?
got a Maybach?
I don't know anybody.
You know what I mean? So when he starts talking Maybach, most people can't even. They're like, huh? Like
Yeah,
they ain't ever gonna see a Maybach a day in their life.
yeah. Um. Oh, that's what I was gonna tell you. Is that Doug? You can. I think if you do some like digging for some stand up comedy like that, some
Mm-hmm.
like original shit, like Bert Kreischer, I can tell you right off the bat, dog. Our homie, what probably didn't play him because he knew you weren't gonna dig him,
Is he
and
related to Burt Reynolds?
yeah, and it's the thing is, dog, that like
Yeah.
I don't really give his comedy either. I dig him as a podcaster. I find him entertaining,
Oh,
but
he's not funny.
I don't like his stand up.
Okay.
It's all right. But it's all right. And I'm corny. I'm corny as, and I think it's all right. So I know you'll fucking hate it, right? So
Right.
I'm just trying to tell you right now. But there are some people that have some fucking dope ass shit. But I'll see if I can think of some people to tell you. Cause I know, Doug. I think that's the thing is that I think you'd be way more in a stand up if you just basically found your style and shit, right? It's
Well,
just like
I
music.
like all styles. You know what? I don't. You know what? It's different though because with comedy, I don't even have a style. Like I don't need my comedy to be hood. You know what I mean? Like should I
Mhm.
like listening to Whitney Cummings
Yeah.
before Chris D'Elia did his thing? I mean, Chris D'Elia was funny.
Hmm.
Bernie Mac. I mean, I don't like Foxworthy. Some of the cable guy shit was all right, I guess. I mean, it's tolerable, but I'm not gonna fucking throw it on. But I mean, I like all kind of comedy because if you're funny, right? Funny's funny. But I've listened to a lot of comedy shows. See, I don't think you know my background with comedy.
No, I don't. I don't at all.
Normally, I've seen shows in Seattle, San Francisco. I've seen many a times on the Carnival cruise. Whenever you go on Carnival, they have like a 9 o'clock show, and then they'll have like an adult version at like 11. I've probably been to. I've seen Dave Chappelle live. I've seen George Lopez live. Um, Man, I've seen a lot of comedy. I've probably seen 20 or 30 shows at least.
Hmm.
And when you go on the cruise too, like you just get who they got.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like you even have a style. It's just whoever's fucking getting paid to be there.
Yeah.
And again, I don't really give a shit. If they're funny, they're funny. They could talk about middle class white people shit. And if it's funny, right? Bang on
Exactly.
Karens. You can make fun of Karens and tell some Karen stories. I'll laugh. You know what I mean? You could make fun of your fucking old grandma and her hearing aid. I don't know, whatever I don't care. If you're funny, you're funny.
Yeah.
So
No.
I just hadn't heard of a lot of the people like the Kreischers and all. I just hadn't heard of those cats.
Yeah. No. No. And you know what? That's what I love, and it's something that actually that Joe Rogan has said on his podcast. He's like, the thing is, dog, is that like if you're at a comedy show, if you're watching it on TV, it's probably like 60 to 70% as funny as
It's
it
all
is
right.
like in person,
Right.
you know?
Right.
But in person, it's almost like you and the fucking crowd are hypnotized, right? You guys are all there. You guys all have the same energy. You guys are all maybe drinking a little bit, chilling, whatever. And,
That's
and,
like
and
watching live wrestling.
yeah, dog, it's just 100% different, you know? It's just
Right.
different. And I agree 1,000,000% because like those fucking people that opened for TJ Miller, dog, I'd never heard of them, especially the guy that was like the MC for the show. He was
Right.
like kind of goofy. He mentioned I think that he was autistic and but funny as you know. And that's the thing is that I love. There was one dude that I saw, Kevin James and Ray Romano in Vegas, and they had a dude that opened for him that was funnier than I would say even Kevin James live. Um, the dude was funny as. And then later, I was watching The King of Queens, and I saw that dude on the show, and I was like, "Oh, this is a buddy of Kevin James," you know.
Yeah.
And the dude was funny as fuck, and I'm like, "That's so dope that you don't have to know who the fuck they are." It's just, I guess, like hearing a fucking good song, right? If you hear
Right.
it, if it's good, it's good, you know.
For sure. No, I'm with you on that, bro. And and I never really listened to the Kevin Jameses or like even Seinfeld. Like that was like a comedy based, sitcom. I didn't really like Seinfeld. Love Martin. Martin's tight. You know what I mean? I love Martin. That was dope.
Yeah,
So whatever, it is what it is. But there's a lot of funny comedians out there, that's for sure.
yeah. But Doug, there's. I mean, we can get back to some Covino and Rich shit. We kind of went off on a tangent, but
We sure
um,
did. That's kind of
but
like Rich did. Speaking of, did you hear Rich go on a tangent when he was talking with Danny G about stats, and all of a sudden Danny compared something to Domino's, and then Rich was talking about Domino's and then breakfast food chains and IHOP better than Waffle House. Did you fucking hear him do that too, or
no,
what?
I missed that completely.
Yeah, I forgot what it was. They were talking about some stat, and then fucking, he's like, when I deliver pizzas for Domino's, or when I worked at Domino's, and then Rich jumped on that, and then and I guess they were probably going to talk to Waffle House later, anyways. But before you know it was a whole food conversation.
Oh, you know what? All right. Speaking of how we talk about this shit just like in our day to day life,
Uh huh.
my buddy and I were talking about my buddy Luis. We were talking about the Fox Sports show, and
Right.
it's fucking funny because they are so much more themselves on Fox Sports than they were on ESPN, and
For sure.
it's so funny because like Rich, he's one that really does like push the limit on Fox Sports because he'll say shit like I even told my buddy Luis this. He'll say shit like, "Yeah," and he put it in her A. Like Rich
Oh
thinks
shit.
Rich would think just because he's not saying like ass, it's
Yeah.
okay to say, you know, or he'll be like he'll make some raunchy ass jokes where he'll be like, they'll say something about flute or some shit, and Rich somehow brings it back to like butt sex or some shit, and it's funny because he does it in such a clean, like fucking fucking terrestrial radio fucking way, but it's
That's a
still
hits. That's a hits one sneaky shit.
yeah, but it'll be dirty as because he'll be like, yeah, you see the mamacitas with all the round booties or whatever, and then make you want to bury your face in it or so, and you're like, what the Rich? Like, you can get away with that
But
shit.
they got the right time slot though, because remember for a long time, like between Maxim and sometimes Stars 2 or Stars or fucking whatever when they were on before that,
Yeah,
they had a lot of that afternoon slot. And Danny G kind of feeds off it too a little
yeah,
bit.
he does. No, actually, you know what? They have that video of them talking about Patrick Mahomes and his wife and his brother.
Right.
And it was funny because Covino and Rich were going. Covino's doing his Patrick Mahomes, Kermit the Frog voice, and then
Uh-huh.
Rich jumps in, and Rich is doing the wife, and then I think it was like Danny G or Ramos who did like the little brother, and I was like, oh yeah, dog, they're all jumping in on each other and feeding off of each other, and I'm like, dog, all of them like Ramos
I like
kind
their
of.
chemistry.
Ramos is somebody who I didn't think was going to be very funny at the beginning when I first started listening, and he gels with them. They all and Cavino, Rich, Spot, Danny G, and Ramos. And what one thing I love about them is that they don't there's five of them, right? And
Hmm.
you don't ever hear them jumping over each other when they're trying to talk. Which
Right.
they know. That was something I think I talked to you about recently. Is we kind of
Hmm.
know each other where if I'm talking, but you have a thought you need to get out, I'll kind of stop, and then or vice versa, right? We're pretty good about
Right.
that. Where we've gotten a lot better. We used to be a lot worse when we first started together, but you kind of learn each other's chemistry. They all kind of gelled right away, which I think is awesome.
Speaking of though, we got to have that fucking. I got to ask you. Rich said fucking IHOP over Waffle House. What do you think about? I mean, I've never been to like the Waffle House. I've only been to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles or the one in Oakland on in Jack London Square. But it depends. They're two different things to me because I don't think because you throw some wings with some syrup on a pancake, it's the same as a fresh and tutti stuffed French toast from IHOP. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So for me, I can't even pick a winner between the two. I think they're two totally different breakfasts besides like the side shit.
The
But what do
only
you think?
The only what I would have to do is I would have to say Waffle House would be the winner in my book, and the only reason is I've only had it like twice, and both times it was fucking bomb, right?
Okay.
That's the only reason. I mean I dig IHOP, but to me it's kind of like I guess like we'll go there, but since I have had
Oh,
Waffle House
really?
only a couple of times, yeah, like it's good. You know, like I dig their omelets, their fucking like pancakes and shit are deep or decent or whatever.
Bro, they brought back the Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, let me explain.
All
You
right.
don't know what the Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity is?
I've heard it, heard of it. I've heard. To me, it just sounds like something. I don't know.
Bro, let me get the exact shit here. But no, the Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity is like strawberry, blueberries, like it's a stack of pancakes, however the fuck you want them.
I've never had that. So
Oh, do you like your pancakes like that or no?
sure. I mean, I
Are
don't.
you,
They sound
what's
good.
your favorite way to eat pancakes? Give me your top five. Let's top five pancakes. Let's go.
I think just normal fucking pancakes with like
Buttermilk?
syrup and yeah, buttermilk pancakes, a little bit of syrup and fucking like a little bit of butter on top. Just plain, fine. I like them with like blueberries or strawberries. That's dope too. I mean, if you
Yeah.
want to do like a chocolate chip fucking pancake, that
There you go.
might be nice every once in a while. I don't eat them all that often though, so it's kind of hard for me to make an argument for them.
My favorite ones are the ones they sell in Hawaii. I like all of those. First of all, that's for those blueberry and strawberry. That's why I like IHOP because I like the Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruities. I make a stuffed French toast. I got the idea from them where they got a stuffed French toast with like some strawberries and blueberries. I'm down with that. Um, I like I like chocolate chip ones. I don't hardly ever order them, but who don't like whipped cream, chocolate chips, and in some
Yeah,
pancake format, right? I mean, that's just dope. My favorite is the ones in Hawaii, the macadamia nut and banana with the coconut sauce.
that
Those
sounds
are
good
fire.
as. Dog, I've never had that, but it sounds so good.
Yeah, you know what? Let me yeah, I'm gonna send you a picture. Maybe you can share your screen. But whenever I go to Hawaii, that's always Mando. But do you like Are you pancakes or do you like waffles?
I don't know because both are pretty fucking dope. Like I don't have them all that often, but I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know because I want to say waffles, but all the shit we just talked about sounds pretty fucking good. So I don't know, Doug. I'd have to be on
I
the
don't
fence.
I don't like the cakey waffles. I like the ones from Roscoe's or the one in Oakland, the Waffle House, where they're thin. They taste like a little hint of cinnamon in them. You can damn near fold them over like it's like about 3 times as thick as a tortilla, bro. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? It's thin as shit. And I like those. Those are fire. What about French toast? Give me your top three. Rate a French toast, waffles, and pancakes in order.
I'd have to go. French toast would be coming in at number three. Um, I'm gonna have to put fucking waffles at number two, and I'm gonna have to just because of all the pancakes we described. I'm gonna have to throw pancakes number one, dog. I have to.
What's Covino and Rich say when they agree it's money, right? That's
Yeah.
money, dude. I'm with you on that.
Really? Yeah,
I,
yeah. I
I can fuck them up. If I'm getting waffles, I want chicken with. I want to get chicken and waffles. I want the syrup, and I want some either mac and cheese and some greens and some biscuits on the side. You know what I mean?
that
Like it's
sounds
almost
bomb.
like a lunch. I'm not when I'm getting chicken and waffle. The only breakfast thing on that motherfucker is the waffle. Everything else is just grub. But if I'm getting pancakes or I'm getting French toast, I'm gonna have some bacon. What are you, a bacon or sausage cat? What you like?
Bacon. I'm bacon.
All day, right?
Yeah. I mean, I will have. I mean, I'll if there's like say we have breakfast or whatever, because my girl gets down with like breakfast like that, and she'll make fucking all the meats in the world. But I'll put bacon, but I'll get a couple, maybe one or two little sausages if they're little or whatever. Yeah. So I do love sausage. No homo. But yeah.
No face. Oh, and then there's a spot called, I think it's called the Dugout too, in Fresno, and they make these cinnamon roll pancakes, and they use this like cream cheese spread,
That
and then
sounds
they put
fuck.
a little syrup on top of that.
Dog. I'm fucking
Nice.
hard. Um.
But yeah, you. So, anyways, back to the question: Waffle House or IHOP? I think Denny's is fucking last place unless you're getting like a moons over my hammy or something, right?
Oh, dog. I might have told this story already, but I'll fucking I was one of the people back in the day, dog. But we went through a phase. Me and a buddy of mine. We went through a
Three.
phase where no, no. I mean, if that's what you want, cool. But no, we went through. There was a period of time where if we would eat Denny's, we would have like the explosive shits like immediately after, right?
Yeah.
And I remember one time, I think I've told the story, if not once, two or three times on the show. But my buddy, we're at Denny's,
Hmm.
we eat or whatever, and immediately he's like, dude, he's like, we're leaving, and he's like, I got to shit, and I was like,
Was he drinking coffee too, though?
I don't know, Doug, I don't know,
Because the coffee will push it
but
through you.
we're leaving,
That shit
and
like jet fuel.
we probably let me see, his house was probably about 7 or 8 minutes away from the Denny's that we were at.
Okay.
We're going. He's like, dude. He's like, I really got to shit. And I was like, don't worry, Doug. We're fucking how many, like 5 minutes away from the pad. Don't trip, you know. He's like, dude. He's like, I really got to fucking shit, right? And so we're going right. So, Doug, there's this fucking street leading to his pad that's probably 25 miles. Actually, no, I know for a fact it's 25 miles an hour down this stretch, dog. I fucking no lie must have been going like over 50 because
Hmm.
Doug, he couldn't even sit in the seat. He's like, Doug, I'm gonna shit, I'm gonna shit. And so he starts going, dude, I do it for you, I do it for you, I do, dude, I do it for you, right? So I'm fucking passing people in a non-passing fucking lane, hauling ass, right?
That's those fake eggs.
And so Doug, so we get there, and he runs up and shits, and he comes out. He's like, dude, he's like, I really appreciate that shit. And I was like, yeah, no problem. He's like, I probably wouldn't have done that for you.
Did you ask him what color the soap was?
No. But it was funny because he was like, in the moment, he was like, oh, I
I've
do.
been there.
But then afterward, after he thought about it, after he took his shit, he was like, yeah, I probably would have let him shit his pants, you know? And I'm like, ah.
Nah, I would have drove like crazy for you, bro.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't have. So if you're
No.
out there
And guess
listening,
what?
El
Guess what?
Cucuy
He's
would
gonna
have.
shit his pants in.
I don't know. Oh, you know what's funny? We actually, not dog. No more shit talk.
I went poopy.
We had a whole perfect shit talk last week, but no. I didn't believe, dog. It's hard for me to believe that grown people could shit their pants. And it was funny because me and this buddy, we were talking about like, because Joe Rogan was talking about how he shit his pants or something,
Yeah.
and I was telling him, I was like, dog, I was like, that's bullshit. I'm like, no grown man fucking shits their pants or whatever. No grown person shits their pants, you know, dog. And then like that night or 2 nights later, we were in mixed company and somebody shit their pants because
Uh-oh.
we were all up, right? And then somebody
Yeah.
ended up shitting their pants that night, and the next day, dog, we were laughing so hard because we had just had this conversation, and we were like, it's so funny that they shit their pants, and we couldn't believe it. We were like, it was almost like God wanted to show us like people really do shit their pants at a grown age.
I'll tell you this. One of our listeners, buddy of mine, I'm not going to say his name. You probably know him though, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to go ahead and call him out. I remember one time we went to Vegas, and there was a few of us there. So I mean, a couple of us knew about it because I think that we were four deep. I think we were mobbing four deep, and me and him were sharing a room, and he got all drunk and he had a piss, right? And he's like, "Let's go, bro. Let's go back to the room." So I was like, "Cool." So I went with him or whatnot. I think I had to grab some tree or something, and he had a piss. So I walk back with him to the room, starts fumbling his key. He drops it. He's like, bro, I gotta go. He's just complaining. He picks the key up. He's trying to get it. He's fumbled. He just pissed himself right in front of the front door. I was like, bro, what are you doing? Like, pinch your dick or something. Like,
Yeah.
at that point, you got to squeeze if it's that bad.
Yeah.
You're right there.
Yeah. Oh God, that sucks, man. Like, oh
Yep.
yeah. You know what, man?
Poor guy.
Yeah, it sucks. Poor guy. I don't know who it is, but I feel for him. Even though I don't know him, I feel like I know him. Um,
It's rough out here.
but Doug, there was let me see, attention spans. Do you think that our attention spans are shrinking,
Yes,
or you do?
absolutely.
Because
110%.
because they were talking about it this week, and I think Covino was the one who was saying that if somebody's talking to him and he's not interested, he immediately like zones out. Um, but I don't know, Doug, if my attention span's shrinking or if I've always been like that. I don't know.
For me, it's gotten worse because, I mean, we've talked about even the sitcoms, right? They're not playing no minute intro no more. You got about 10, 15 seconds.
Oh, you know what,
And
Doug? I just never mind. Remind me. I just contradicted myself because I just thought of something.
Okay, well, I think they are. I think that's why like the TikTok and Snapchat, I think everyone wants instant gratification. I think that's
Mhm.
the world we live in, and I think our attention spans are. I mean, when's the last time you were able to get? How good does the show or the movie have to be for you not even to look at your phone once?
Yeah, you know what? I got to tell you, the last time I was really into a show, and this was back in August when I had all my shit pulled out of my throat, was Better Call Saul. Right.
Okay,
Other than that, Doug, let me see. Recently, I started to watch a show called Kaleidoscope. I think I've seen there's like 9 episodes or some shit. I've seen 2 of them, and I can't get myself to sit down and watch another one. Even though I liked it, I'm like, when I think about it, and I'm like, Doug, I'm like, it's gonna be like 47 minutes or 50 minutes or an hour or whatever. I'm like, do I want to sit there for an hour? And that's why I'd rather watch like a YouTube video or something that I know is gonna be like 12 minutes or it's gonna be whatever.
I don't
But
even know if I got 12 minutes.
but yeah, but see, that's the thing though. If I check out of a video that's 12 minutes and I check out 6 minutes in or 3 minutes in or whatever,
You got the
cool.
gist.
But I'm like, I'm like, am I really gonna sit here? The only thing that I have been digging that I can sit through is The Circle on Netflix. I've been watching the new season, Dog, and I've been binging that shit. Other than that, it's really hard for me. So yes, you know what? Actually, I have to agree with you with our attention span because it's very rare. Doug, I feel like back in the day, I used to be able to binge like movies and shows and
Me
everything.
too.
Now to watch like a movie, dog, I have to be
It's a
fucking
mission, bro.
really in the fucking mood to
It's
watch
a
it.
it's a mission, and not only that, because you know that there's dull points in every movie. Even good movies have stretches where it's kind of boring.
Hmm.
TikTok don't go that long. I mean, you swipe up, bing, bing,
Exactly,
bing, and
exactly.
in fucking 4 or 5 swipes, someo's making you laugh.
Yeah, exactly. No, Cavino said that there was a movie he was watching or a show or something, and he had to rewind it like he said 10 to 12 times because every time it would start to get boring, he'd look at his phone,
Me too.
but he would look just long enough to miss whatever
Shout
the
out to
happened.
Vino.
So he would rewind it and be like, "Oh, all right, cool. Now I'm gonna pay attention because I know some shit happens right here." And if it didn't happen immediately, he was pulling up his phone. Man, fuck, I missed it again. He said he rewound it, and it took him, I think he said like 4 days to watch one episode or some shit, or one movie or some shit like that.
Right.
It
No,
fucking
you know what's crazy? I did that the other day though. I was like, I don't. This button doesn't get used very often, but I had to hit the pause because someone called and I was watching the neighborhood, and I didn't want to fuck it up. You know what I mean? And I did that on BMF too. If it's, I don't get distracted on BMF. That shit is dope, especially season 2 right now. It is rocking, and so that one I don't have to hit pause. But Lopez versus Lopez, um, don't know if you've seen it. Good show. If you haven't, you should check it out. But even those ones, man, George, as funny as George Lopez is, I get bored on that shit, bro. So then I start looking at my phone and like I understand most of the episode, but
yeah. No,
no.
no, there's shit, and there's something that if there is something that I'm hella into, then I can like zone in on it. Like they were talking about this Hatchet some shit, whatever the fuck it was called,
Okay,
documentary.
Ratchet.
I don't know, but I want to check it out. That looks like something I could get into. But if it's just like I don't understand how like Rich, he'll say that oh, we didn't know what to do, so we watched a fucking random ass movie. Dog, that to me sounds like work. You know?
No, it is, bro.
Like it really does. If it's like there's a documentary that Hatchet one that I told you I want to watch.
Yeah.
That shit sounds interesting. So I'm like, I know I'll probably dig it as soon as I start watching it. I'll get hella into it. But if it's just something like I kind of want to see, Doug, that I can already tell you that's not gonna hold my attention.
But no, I think you're right though. I just, because I used to be a Blockbuster guy. Like I had a crazy amount of Blockbuster rewards. And I remember looking for any new movie that was halfway decent and try to watch two or three a night for a long time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I can't do shit like that right now. Brian got time for that.
No, and it is true though that back in the day, like, dog, you were just excited for like, even like if Netflix and all that shit, like when it first came out, you were like, yeah, it said release this week or whatever. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna watch it, right?
Yeah,
But
I'm gonna order it in the mail. Remember that?
or like I never did that. I didn't jump on Netflix until it was actually streaming.
Oh,
But
you never sent the shit in the mail with Netflix?
nuh-uh.
Oh wow, that's some dinosaur shit.
But no, but I never even did like Redbox. I think my
What about GameFly?
nah, I was never a video
With the
game
video
player.
games where you pay like $15 and you get a game or two, and then you buy same as Netflix. You just send it back when you want a new one.
Nah, I never did that either. But not like Blockbuster, in Hollywood Video, 5 Star Video, all that shit. Dog, we used to go and if it's at like new release, we're just like, yeah, let's get it because it's a new release,
Hold
you know.
on.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
Spot
but
Coast to Cockbusters.
Cockbusters. Uh,
You get the 2-day rental.
attention span shrinking. Dog, I still don't know if they were serious or not. But Rich was talking about. I think Covino said that Rich invited him over, and he said he was gonna have a pizza party. And Covino goes, "You're not 4 years old. Like, just because you're ordering a couple of pizzas and you're inviting like a couple of people over." He was like, "That ain't a pizza party. Like, you have a pizza party when you're in like third grade. Like,
You know,
I can't imagine.
I agree with him.
I can't imagine being like, hey, Luis, hey, Cucuy, come over to my house, dog. We're going to have a pizza party. I would expect you to fucking walk up to my door, slap me, and leave.
Or at least if you're gonna do that, like I can see it if you're watching the game. If you're like, hey man, you want to come over and fucking, but now why it's not even just pizza. We'll order food because there's DoorDash, right?
Yeah.
Come over, kick it. We'll fucking grab some grub and shit, get some beer, chief, and let's watch the game. But not come over for like, dude, if you're gonna ask me to come over and life's busy, the least you could do, you punk ass, is cook me some ribs or a steak.
No, but you're gonna call. I have no problem even with him inviting you over for pizza, but just to call it a pizza party,
Yeah,
I'm like,
disguise it.
"Dog, what the is that?" And I still don't know if they were being for real or not, but it sounded like they were serious. And Rich kind of started joking afterward, but I think he was serious. I think he really did hit him up like, "Hey guys, you want to come over for a pizza party?" Like, Doug, that sounds like the funniest shit. Like, I have one friend that I could think of that would tell me that, and
Yeah.
and he's a good dude, and I wouldn't hold it against him, but for the most part, if you hit me up, dog, and I think it's kind of go back to high school English class, right? Know your audience, dog.
Yes.
Right? If I'm hitting up Cucuy, I'm not gonna say, "Hey, come over for a pizza party where we have party hats and pin the tail on the donkey."
No.
I'm like, Doug. But
Pin the tail on the high nose, which we do.
But if I tell my daughter, "Hey, we're gonna have a pizza party," I know my audience, right? Like, I was perplexed. I'll break out my school word.
He just went about it total square white guy. Like it's okay to serve pizza to guests in a lot of situations. Like that's okay. That's not the issue. It's just presenting it like you're 13. Hey, I'm gonna have some girls come over. Let's have pizza.
That's so funny, dog.
And he blows his little streamer.
Hold on. Over here. I'll be done. I'll be done in a minute. Like 10 minutes. Cool. 56. All right. Yeah, but was there anything else you have? I have a couple more things if you want me to go rapid fire.
Rapid. I got a couple too. We'll do a little rapid fire.
Go ahead. I'll let you start with a couple because I know I've been rambling a lot this episode. I had to make up for previous episodes.
Someone in the chat, I think it was Mauser,
Okay.
and he said something about someone's mom and Cox in the '80s,
Oh yeah, Gio's mom.
and fucking Spot chimed in. You hear him?
What did he say?
Like, or me in 2022. You hear that, bro?
I did now that you say that because they said more than Gio's mother in the 80s. I heard that. But yeah, you're right. I do remember that because
Body.
it gets eye rolly, dog. Like that's the thing.
Know your audience.
Yeah, that's the thing though, dog. Like if you do, cool, but like trying to force it in to every situation makes it like you're only doing it for attention. Like you don't even
Starting
dig.
to feel desperate.
Yeah,
it's desperation.
You don't even dig these dudes that you're with. It sounds like you just like
You just want to talk about it.
so you can say that you're the or
Cock
me
king.
like dog, come on now, or me in 2022.
You're King Carne.
Come on.
All right, whatever. I had to fucking bring that up, and then that's it. That's all I got, bro. No, the Young Rock. What about the Young Rock, bro?
What about it?
The TV show. Have you seen it?
I've seen previews. I've seen a couple of trailers. I've never watched the show. What's it about?
I've binged it. It's about what it sounds like it's about. It's about Young Rock, but it does show Young Rock at different phases of his life, from like little boy to high school, to when he started getting in trouble and stealing shit. Like he stole a pair of Jabot jeans, playing football, Miami, like when he was a Hurricane, it showed one year that he don't even get off the bench. And then it also shows fast forward, I guess he's like running for president in 2032. And that dude, Randall Park, you know who that is?
Yeah.
So Randall Park is interviewing him in like 2032 because he's running for president, and it goes back and forth. So it'll go at different stages of his life. And if anyone that knows The Rock, his dad was a wrestler.
Yeah.
And
Rocky
when his
Johnson.
dad was yeah. And so what was his name?
Rocky Johnson.
Yeah, Rocky Johnson.
Because that's where I think his uncle was Superfly. Was it Maivia, right? So The Rock got Rocky from Rocky Johnson, and
Right.
or no, I'm thinking Superfly
Because he was Rocky first. In the show, it showed that he wrestled as Rocky, but then he like went through being a heel and saw how the crowd responded. And I got a buddy, and my buddy, his fucking name is fucking Rocky Garland.
Yeah.
So Rocky Johnson, Rocky Garland, whatever. But at the end of the day, it kind of.
You know what made me laugh? No, you know what made me laugh is I remember, because I mean this is my era, the Rock, Stone Cold, all that shit was like when I was like 10, 11 years old, and that was my shit. I remember when The Rock was Rocky Maivia, and I remember my dad telling me like his dad was Rocky Johnson and this and this and this, whatever, and me being all stoked like this cool. And then when The Rock, I remember him in the ring with Vince McMahon. And Vince McMahon was wearing a black denim jacket, and on the back it had the Raw is War logo. And I remember he was, that was when The Rock told him, I don't want to be known as Rocky Maivia anymore. I want to be known as The Rock. And it's funny because I remember as a kid going, The Rock, that sounds fucking stupid, right? And then even Vince McMahon was like, Rocky, I mean, The Rock, and like making fun of him. And I'm like, dog, to go back to like 1998 or whenever it was, to now, to where my fucking daughter, she'll tell me, Dad, or she'll be like, I looked up, like she told me the other day, at school in the library on the computer, she looked up The Rock Johnson. And she was like, yeah, The Rock Johnson used to be a wrestler, and she's giving me his whole bio and shit. And I'm like, everybody just fucking knows him as The Rock now, when at one point it was actually comical that he was going to be The Rock. It's crazy.
Well, and I won't spoil it in case you get interested, but it shows like his Miami Hurricanes, how he couldn't get into the game. It shows Ray Lewis, Warren Sapp, like Dennis Erickson. It shows WWF wrestlers. So I guess his mom's mom, her husband was this like wrestling Polynesian wrestler in Hawaii. He had like a wrestling thing that he worked with Vince McMahon. So I seen Jake the Snake on it. Man, he's on it. Andre the Giant takes him to watch E.T. the movie when he was like 10. So he's around wrestling his whole life, and
Yeah.
like it shows his pops and struggles. It shows, anyways. I won't. It's there's 3 seasons to it, but it's dope because it bounces around through the years. So it's not like you're watching a in order all the way. Like you get bits and pieces on different episodes, and it shows, like I said, him getting in trouble stealing and trying to get the girl at 15, 16, struggling with the Hurricanes where he's dedicating his life to being the best because he's trying to get drafted. And then it shows him turning into a heel on WWE. Dope show. The Rock, Young Rock, bro.
Young Rock. Well, I gotta check it out then. The Rock, Young Rock. I have seen some trailers. Like I saw a commercial the other day that
Did they cook a meth?
it was him getting arrested or some shit, and they were like they said that he was buying alcohol for minors, and then
Yes.
he's like, I'm a minor, and they're like, yeah, sure you are, get in the fucking car, you know, because he was like 6'5", like 300 pounds at like 15 or whatever.
Yeah, he was a fucking giant.
Yeah,
And he wasn't even yoked yet. See, when he started getting yoked was in Miami because he was a hurricane and he couldn't get on the field. So I guess he really like dedicated himself in his workout program and he started getting ripped. But it's still, he got on a little bit, but fucking, obviously the football career thing didn't work out, but it's dope. You got to check it out.
yeah. No, I'll definitely check it out. That's something that just because I was such a huge fan when I was a kid, I think that's
Mm-hmm.
something that would be cool because that's something, Doug, that I can sit and watch. I can watch
Me too.
documentaries on like people from like WWF wrestlers from like the 90s and shit. Like I watched one recently on Jerry the King Lawler's son,
Mm-hmm.
who there was this is way past your time, I'm sure, because this is like 02-ish maybe. But this is like right before I dipped out. There was two guys named Scotty Too Hottie and Grandmaster Sexay. And Grandmasters,
What?
their little gimmick was they were a tag team duo called Too Cool, and it was like Scotty Too Hottie was, I forget what his other little gimmick was in WWF, but Grandmaster Sexay, his real name was
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Lawler. It's Jerry Lawler's son.
Yeah.
And so I watched a documentary recently on him, which is it's funny as because like I barely remembered him from that era. Like I remember that duo, I remember all that. But just because it's from that era and they start showing shit from back in the day and interviews and shit, dog, that kind of shit I will watch all fucking day.
Well, see, and when he quit, pretty much is when I tapped out too, because the last people that I really remember, like I'm obviously Undertaker lived 400 years, so I mean, that's one thing. But like was Stone Cold, The Rock, Triple H, I mean, I know Triple H still has a role, but like the Miz and all these new cats, I don't really, And what was the dude that was Daniel Bryan? I knew him because he was banging the one of the Bella twins, and it
Yeah.
was on E. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like.
yeah, yeah.
Like that's why I know that cat. I would have never known no damn Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, it's dope, dude. You got to check it out.
Yeah, no, and I do know a little bit about what's going on now because, like you said, like the divas and shit on E and all that. I remember there was one of the chicks was dating a dude that. Do you remember Rikishi?
No, I remember one was with Cena for a while, and she
Well,
left him.
well, no, it's not one of them. It's one of the other chicks from the Total Bellas was
Oh, the
a
total.
spinoff
Yeah,
of Total Divas. Remember?
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
on Total Divas, I think it was one of the black chicks was dating one of these dudes that was Rikishi's son. So
Okay.
Rikishi was a wrestler when I was young. Now his sons, that are probably about my age or a little younger, are wrestling and shit, and they were dating one of the divas or a couple of the divas or whatever the fuck. So
Yeah.
that's where I kind of knew a little bit about that. But I'm definitely going to check out the Young Rock show. I think if I watch like an episode or two, Doug, that'll be enough to keep me fucking
Oh, it's
on it.
over.
Yeah.
You're only gonna need one, and I'll tell you what it did for me is I had some beers even, man, and I was trying to go to sleep even, and I turned it on, and like I got so into it, I didn't sleep.
Oh,
I
really?
watched like 6 episodes. You know what I mean? Like it was dope. And then I just started watching them. I was like, you know what? There's 3 seasons. Oh, I was like, I got to check this shit out.
Doug, is that why you've been telling me you can't, you've been having shitty sleep? Is it because you're up
I
all night watching Young Rock?
No, because I'm laying there and like I'm like half cockeyed, and then if something somewhat interesting comes on, I can't sleep anyway, so I just tune in.
No, it's not half cockeyed. It's half phase three. I
No, nothing like that.
half phase
Nothing
three.
like
I
that. And it very little of that is actually him wrestling too. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it right now. Like I said, half of that is where he's campaigning for president in 2032. I'm gonna go on record right now. I think he is gonna be the president someday.
President? I don't know, but I think he will
I think he's gonna
campaign.
be the president of the United States. Dwayne Johnson will be the president of the United States. Because why would he do that, bro? And I bet if Donald Trump can win, I mean, people actually like The Rock.
Yeah. That would be some shit. Can you imagine President Rock,
You watch.
the 47th president of the United States,
I'm
President
calling
Rock?
it right now. I'm not saying he'll be the next president. I'm saying Ronald Reagan. Look how old he was. He was damn near 80 years old when he got it.
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger was the governor of California, the governor.
Yeah.
It's not impossible. I'm telling you, The Rock will be president one day. I'm calling it here first, after show, but later.
Episode number 164, right? Damn.
Yep.
That's where it is. I'm gonna actually title this. Cucuy called it. Cucuy called President Rock. That's what this one will be called.
President Rock. What's up, President Rock?
So in a few years from now, maybe 10 years, 15 years from now, when we're on tour with our after show podcast, then we'll reference this episode number 164 when you said we might even have a sit down with President Rock.
You know what? Let me get into character.
Come here.
Nice to meet you, President Johnson.
President Johnson.
Rock Johnson. Do you go by Rock? Do you go by Johnson? Or just the president? Nice to meet you.
He's gonna call you a jabroni and give you the people's elbow.
Good.
But
That's what we need.
Here we are, the after show, but later, episode number 164. Dog, I can't talk. Episode number 164. Your boys D, El Cucuy, after show BL across all social media. Make sure you check us out. Dog, I gotta apologize in advance. I've been lagging it on like uploading episodes to Facebook, YouTube, and all that shit. What I have been consistent with is uploading it to like the audio streaming platforms. But like Dirk Shots hit me up today or yesterday, and he was like, I've been waiting for you guys to upload an episode because he had listened to it, I guess. But
Okay.
he wanted to comment on the YouTube. So I gotta be up on that, dog. I think there's been a lot of changes recently in my life where I need to set aside some time, either like on a certain day or every evening, to really edit TikToks and upload shit on time and do all that, be consistent. But for everybody that does check it out, we can't thank you enough. So
No, absolutely.
So after show, but later, El Cucuy,
You know what I'm going to do?
What's up?
I'm going to go watch some Young Rock. I'm going to catch up, bro. It's 3 seasons. I got about 15 episodes to watch.
I might have to because I'm all caught up on The Circle, so I'm going to need something to watch before I crash tonight.
Well, guess what? Text me.
All right, I'll let you know. After show, but later, number 164. Go ahead. Come on, share it with your friends. El Cucuy, should we bring in Baseline Trey?
We should bring in Baseline Trey, but it's going to take a minute.
No.
Baseline
Trey.
Trey's watching Young Rock, bro.
Baseline Trey, let's fucking go.
He's watching Young Rock. I gotta go. Hey, Baseline.
Baseline
Trey.
Can you come in real quick?
We need you. Oh, hold on. He's coming.
All right.
All right, there he is. Let's roll.
I can hear him running down
Let's go.
I can hear him running down the aisle, the hall.
On the road to the riches, cause it's all about the paper. Now buckle up your seats and prepare for the journey. Let the music ease your soul, grab a spliff and start burning. Relax with us and take a trip to the heavens. And come and spend a day in the 757. Yeah.